Talk about non sequitur. Literally, the phrase or the word non sequitur means it does not follow. And the meaning here is that a conclusion does not logically follow from the premises. So in other words, the premises are basically irrelevant reasons. Here's an example having to do with the climate. In 2011, there was a congressional hearing on climate change. And one lawyer had the audacity to suggest that the EPA can't say that emissions are harmful. Now, what reason did he give? Why did he say that? Because over the same period of time that the EPA was looking at, health improved on the whole, and he had certain categories to demonstrate that health improved. Now ask yourself, what's the problem with this sort of reasoning? Well, the problem is that there could be other explanations for why health improved during those years. For example, the improvement of medicine. Every year we get better at treating people. And so an improvement in health doesn't necessarily indicate that emissions are not harmful. Those two things are not related. The conclusion that emissions are unharmful or that they're fine does not follow from the evidence. Okay, let's move on. Well, let me give one more example first. United Airlines, they had at one time a slogan that said, "We humans are a social animal." That's why United flies to more places than any other airline. Now, can you see the problem here? The conclusion, there's that part that's why United flies to more places, does not follow from us being a social animal. The problem here is that their conclusion, we fly to more places than any other airline. Basically, the correct premise for that would be because it's in our business interest to do so. They're a business. They're not a philanthropic organization. They're not interested in connecting people for the purpose of connecting people. It's an actual business. So their conclusion doesn't follow from the premise. And here's one final example that certainly will imprint the non sequitur into your mind.
And I'll be brutal. The reason she's a U.S. Senator, the reason she's a candidate for president, the reason she may be a front runner is her husband messed around.
Yeah, but
that's how she got to be senator from New York. We keep forgetting it. She didn't win there on her merit. She won because everybody felt, my God, this woman stood up under humiliation. Right? That's what happened. That's how it happened.
One could certainly argue that whether or not Hillary Clinton was elected to Senate and was a serious contender for president had nothing to do with the fact that Bill messed around. It has to do with the fact that she's a savvy politician herself, and she showed that as Secretary of State. So that's an example of a non sequitur. The conclusion that she has all her accolades and accomplishments as a result of her husband messing around is a non sequitur. It doesn't follow.